one of my earliest memories is, where we lived, the streets were divided. There were 8th Street South and 8th Street North. And the black community basically lived uh, eight, all the 8th Streets that are south of Main Street. And we had dirt roads. We didn't have any sidewalks, growing up. And segregation was definitely real. I knew what it was like to have in my neighborhood the KKK driving through my neighborhood. On the weekends, when it got dark, we knew that we needed to be inside the house because they were going to go riding. Is that how we would phrase it? And ride through our neighborhoods with the lights on inside their cars and with the hoods on. Um, but I had a nice childhood though. I think we had fun. We played. We made our own toys sometimes, and before skateboards ever came out, like we know today, we made our own skateboards with the metal skates that come together. So we took those apart and we got a piece of wood, 1 by 4 or one, well, whatever the measurements were, and we actually created our own skateboard. Um, we played in the streets, stick ball, if you will. We didn't have, well, we made the stick from a broom. That's what we used to hit, the rubber ball and dodgeball. Did that as well. Basketball, some folks played it, but I didn't because that was not me. I wasn't a sports person. I Football was what my dad played, and the kids in the neighborhood played what we call sandlot football. But after a couple of tries of that and getting knocked down and the wind knocked out of me and all that stuff, I knew that wasn't for me either. So, but Fort Meade, a small town, 2 traffic lights today. You know, I'm glad and proud to be from Fort Meade. Interesting thing is, in growing up, my grandmother lived across the street from where we lived. My grandmother lived in a wooden frame house, and in fact, there's a piece of artwork here at the studio that I'd like to share it with you. It's called Butterscotch and Tin Roof. And my grandmother's house was a wooden frame house, and across the street, we had a house that we lived in, but we didn't own the house. It was rented out by us. It was 3 bedrooms and no bathroom. So my job, I should say, was, in each of the rooms, there was a night pot. And for those of you who are of age may very well know what that is, but it was a pot that was beside your bed so that at night when you had to do your bodily functions, you did your bodily functions in the night pot. But my job before going to school every morning was to empty the night pots and to take the night pots out to the outhouse, which was a wooden structure, several yards away from the house. And it was there that I, cleaned the night pots and brought them back in. Um, on the back porch was a little room that accommodated a galvanized tub that was about maybe 6 or 8 feet in length, and we would take a kettle, fill it with water, and heat the water up on the stove inside the house, and then we would take the hot water from the kettle, pour it inside the galvanized tub, and that's how we took our hot baths. And when we finished, we would drag the galvanized tub to the edge of the porch and dump it out. I came from, humble beginnings. Mom and dad were blue collar workers, and the wooden frame house. There were some advantages, but I'll tell you though, in the winter, it was kind of cold. It was kind of cold. My art journey actually began after I graduated from college. I graduated from Duke University with a degree in theology. I actually went to Duke to become a Baptist minister. At the time, I didn't know who I was when I graduated, so I didn't go into that area at all because I didn't want to mess anyone else's life up. So I went into the banking business, which is what I did in high school part-time. I worked in the bank, and then when I was home from college for the summer. So back then in 1975, with this particular bank, I was the only person of color in management. And I got stressed out because I felt like all eyes were on me, like a fish in a fishbowl. And so I decided I needed to find a hobby, some way to relax, to get rid of the stress. So I enrolled in an art class from 9 to 12 on Saturdays to learn how to paint. And I fell in love with it. And I decided, okay, as with anything, if we focus and really give our attention to it, we can actually get better. And that's just pretty much the way life is. Set goals for ourselves and focus on doing and being the best you. And so in so doing that, I decided that I was going to get better and eventually start doing art shows. And I'll never forget I did an outdoor show and won honorable mention, and that was like a big thing for me. I thought, okay, people like my work. So I just committed to it and eventually uh, left painting and actually explored sculpture. And my first sculpture was of a lady done in paper mache. And so after I finished sculpting her, it was just from the torso from the waist up. I went to a thrift store and I bought a hat for her and I bought a wig for her and some clothes. So kind of got me into doing, say, 3D work. And eventually I moved fast forward in 1995 when I moved to South Florida uh, and was privy to the fact that the South Florida Super Bowl was looking for a gift to give to the NFL team owners. And I presented to them a prototype in paper mache of a kicker, which they loved. They said, yes, we like it. So I took that prototype and actually made the real clay piece and had it bronzed, and it was given to the NFL team owners to commemorate South Florida Super Bowl in 1995. So my journey as an artist has been one that has been enjoyable. Taking me to the White House with Laura Bush invited me to do an ornament for the White House Christmas tree. The theme at the White House was the red, white, and blue Christmas at the White House. So she had asked all of her congressmen to identify an artist within their congressional district to create the ornament. And the late L.C. Hastings, when he was alive, received a call from his office out of the blue. And I call that divine providence because I had nothing to do with it. I didn't network with anybody. I didn't rub any elbows. It was just, a divine opportunity. So I was asked if I would be interested in doing an ornament at the request of Laura Bush, former First Lady Laura Bush, and I, of course, immediately said yes. And so I did that. So uh, we were talking earlier about my desire one day maybe to do a documentary and title it From the Outhouse to the White House. So I'm going to put it out there and see what happens. But that is kind of a bit of my journey. And I have to say this, that, knowing that this is a gift that I've discovered, I don't take it for granted. I know it's a gift God has allowed me to develop and to come to know. So as a result of that, I cherish it, but at the same time, what knowledge I have, and I don't know everything, but what knowledge I do have, I'm willing to share it with other artists. I have a number of artists that I mentor, and the future, I think, is bright. We are the ones that are the creators of our future. Our lives are canvases. Every day, our life is a canvas, and we can create. Or I like to think in terms of being a sculptor. You see a block of wood or stone, and you then visualize what's inside that stone and you bring it out. So our life and our future is really left up to us. You know, yes, we will have some challenges as we have in the past, and there will be future challenges. But I do know and believe that when you're spiritually grounded, then nothing can keep you from achieving your purpose. Nothing can prevent you from achieving your goals. So the future is bright. We're the ones that are creators of our future. And we hold the canvas or the paintbrush or the tool in our hands. And with God's help, we create a bright future, and we can do that.